Hello again, my friends. In this lesson, you're going to learn about the present real conditional tense. For example, you don't need a car if you live in a big city. That's true, but cities are so noisy. I like small towns. So the conditional part of this tense hinges on the word if. Es como si in español. So really, we're going to be using the present tense, but we will include this word if either in the beginning or the end of the sentence. So here's some text about small towns and big cities. We're going to see the present real conditional tense using the word if. Small towns. If you like friendly places, move to a small town. People in small towns know each other. If you walk down the street, people say hello. If you need help, you can ask your neighbor. Big cities. If you like to go out a lot at night, move to a big city. You'll always find something to do. You don't need a car if you live in the city. You can take buses or trains. So here are some questions about this text, and we can look at the responses now together. If you like friendly places, what should you do? The text says, move to a small town. If you go out a lot at night, what should you do? If you like to go out a lot at night, you should move to a big city. Notice here in numbers 1 and 2, we're using the imperative. We're giving a command, move to a big city. Number 3, name one reason to live in a small town. Several were given in this text. For example, if you walk down the street, people say hello. If you need help, you can ask a neighbor. Name one reason to live in a big city. You don't need a car if you live in the city. So here we have examples of our if statement at the beginning of our sentence, and we can also use it at the end. We're going to use a comma if it comes in the beginning. Let's look more closely at our grammar rule for the day. Present real conditional. We use the present real conditional for general truths, habits, and facts. This should sound very familiar because this is how we use the present tense. We talk about what is true, what is our routine. The difference now is we will use the word if in these statements. And we'll also use some old friends that we've learned before. We can use can, should, or have to. We've had that lesson in the past. We can also use our imperatives as if we're giving advice. The clause with if can appear at the beginning or the end of the statement. For example, if he lives in a big city, he doesn't need a car, comma. He doesn't need a car if he lives in the big city. If you start a sentence with if, you will have a comma after the if clause. Let's practice. There are 6 conditional sentences in this email, and we know where they are because they use the word if. Let's go ahead and highlight those. I'll read it out loud first, and then you can pause the video and try reading out loud for pronunciation practice on your own. Hi, Jan. You asked me about Greenview Apartments. I really like living here. If you rent an apartment at Greenview, you get free Wi-Fi. You can also get cable TV if you pay an extra $20 a month. In most buildings, you pay more. If you want to do laundry at Greenview, you don't have to leave your apartment. There's a washer and dryer in every unit. You should move here if you have a dog or a cat. Pets are not allowed in most buildings around here, but they're allowed at Greenview. If you own a car, you can get your own parking space. You can get a parking space. That's important in a crowded city. Hope this helps. Call me if you have any more questions. Best, Bob. So here, Jan has not rented the apartment yet, todavía. And for that reason, we're using the word if, and that makes the future conditional, okay? If this, then that. So even though our tense doesn't change because we're still in the present right now, it's talking about the future, but in a pretty predictable way. Let's complete these conditional sentences. This is titled Tips, How to Save Money When You Move. Moving can be expensive. Here are some money-saving tips. All right, here are our options to fill in the sentences. I'll read them out loud. Try to sell them if you move during the week. If you don't have too many things, don't buy them. You have to carry the boxes yourself. So let's complete this together. Number 1, moving on the weekend is usually more expensive. You save money. That's right. If you move during the week. Number 2, don't hire a moving company. Rent a truck instead. But remember, if you rent a truck, you have to carry the boxes yourself. Remember, have to is an expression that is similar. Well, the translation is tener que in español. Es como, it's an obligation. It's necessary. Number 3, you can use your car to move if you don't have too many things. I used my car to move in the dorms when I went to college. I had a very small dorm room. I did not have many things. So every year I would move out with my little car and I moved back in. Everything fit in my car. Number 4, if you need boxes, don't buy them. You can usually get boxes for free from stores. You can also ask your friends and family. Lots of people have extra boxes. Number 5, if you have things you don't want anymore, try to sell them. You can make extra money that way. Here we have some pictures that we'll look at, and we're going to describe these objects and guess what they are. And we'll use the present real conditional and the ideas below. So let's play a guessing game. For example, people use it if the grass is too high. Ah, it's a lawnmower. Let's see. People use it if they are cold. Laptop, cutting board, dishwasher, mixer, mop, grill, plunger, heater, sewing machine. That's right, it's a heater. People use it if they want to cook outside. This is cooking, but that's inside. Outside cooking, it's a grill. People use it if they want to wash the floor. No, wrong kind of floor. A mop, it's a mop. People use it if they bake a lot of cakes. Oh, I've seen this on TV. This is a mixer. It's very useful if you bake a lot of cakes. People use it if they want to use the internet. What do we use the internet on? Aha, a computer or a laptop. People use it if they have a slow drain. Do you remember this picture where the man was, or person was using a plunger to unclog the drain? Plunger. People use it if they cut a lot of vegetables. This is called a cutting board. And people use it if they make their own clothes. That would be a sewing machine. So you can play the if game as a guessing game to practice the present real conditional for these things that are true. Sometimes things break. And who does these things in your home? Do you fix things when they break? Does someone in your family fix them? Let's practice completing these sentences for what's true in our own lives. For example, if something breaks, I try to fix it myself. If there's no food in the refrigerator, my husband goes to the supermarket. If the dishes are dirty, I clean them. If there's something wrong with my car, I tell my husband. If I invite guests for dinner, I ask Savannah to help. If one of my children is sick, I stay home from work. So these are things that have not happened in the future yet, but maybe they have in the past. So it is a routine for the future that these solutions will happen again. And we can use the present tense conditionally with the word if. Let's review. Choose the correct sentence in each pair. I'll pause now, and you can pause the video and you choose the correct answers. Welcome back. Let's see how you did. Number 1, the laundry room is less crowded if people do their laundry late at night. Number 2, if she enjoys going out a lot, she should live in a city. 3, they need to call a plumber if they have a slow drain. 4, if the lock on your front door is broken, you have to repair it. And 5, if a window leaks in your rental apartment, tell your landlord. So we have the imperative here, tell. And we have also those modal verbs, you have to repair it. They need to call a plumber if they have a slow drain. She should, here are should statements, como deber. We can use that in the real present conditional. Great job. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time in class.